Well, obviously we're elated, aren't we? I think the hard work of mass testing, going into tier three, being the first in there, the first to experience what that meant. I think this is a reward for Liverpool for doing all this hard work, and I have to take my hat off to the leadership. You know, when you look at what Joe and Steve Rotherham and Tony Reeves, the chief exec, has done an incredible job putting Liverpool at the front of the agenda. And you know, who would have thought that we'd have had this kind of relationship with the central government? And it just shows what can be achieved when party politics is put to one side and we get the right result for the city. And I think it is absolutely the best outcome we could ask for. Dreadfully sorry for pub owners and bar owners. I think they've been, you know, not treated badly, but the situation in terms of bars and pubs is so difficult. And we've just, funny enough, been on a call with Tony and the team asking for higher levels of support for the wet-led businesses so we don't lose those gems in Liverpool. You know, I think that's a really important move. And the next bit, of course, is clarifying all the regulations. What does that mean in terms of single households? Obviously, great news about the 11 o'clock curfew now being changed so restaurants can finish later, have a second sitting. It makes us viable again. You know, it's almost feels like you can breathe and do something proper this Christmas. So amazing news, Jay, to be honest.
The household things, that is still a little bit confusion in terms of what those rules are. Will it be the same as tier three? Because we had that 10 days, didn't we, in Liverpool, where you could only go out within your household and you could only go to a place that was serving substantial food with your drinks. Will that stay the same?
Yeah, well, it's looking like this tier two is sort of a hybrid of tier three and tier two, if you like. I think the confusion has come because they've made the announcement about, you know, at home, in terms of 3 households are allowed to come around the dinner table for Christmas Day, but you can't do that in a restaurant. And I think this has caused an issue, and we are actually asking for that to be clarified. In fact, in Liverpool, we're hoping that we might even be able to do it through mass testing, in that you go and have a negative test, and as a reward, you can, you know, go to have your Christmas dinner or an event where everybody in the room has been tested negative. You know, there's all these sort of reward ideas coming forward now, but certainly I think my understanding is that it is single household now. So this tier two that we're in is a slightly different version of the tier three restrictions that we were in previously.
Paul, obviously we've all had this last month in lockdown. I think there's people just dying to get out and just experience those social environments that the hospitality industry brings. That's surely going to play in your favour too, isn't it?
I think it is. I think there's a lot of pent up demand. I think the danger is that we all come out of the blocks, go into party mode, and then we create another spike. And dare I say, you know, lockdown 3 is looming then. And what I think one of the key messages we have to get across to people is that this is a step in the right direction. It's not the done deal yet, but we've got to continue social distancing, keep wearing the mask, keep washing hands, and still just be sensible. You know, just common sense kicks in, doesn't it? So I think if we do that, you know, there is a review in 2 weeks' time. Who knows? Do we get to tier 1 before Christmas? You know, these are all possibilities. And if our numbers are still going in the direction they're going at the moment, you know, we're down to something like 100 cases per 100,000 from 750 only 5 weeks ago. So it is possible. And I think because we've got the testing going really well, we are probably the only city that can achieve it. And they're using us as an example, which can only be a good thing.
Well, we haven't heard from the City Council on this yet. Is the mass testing staying in Liverpool for the foreseeable?
Yeah, so our understanding is that the pilot in Liverpool will continue, but maybe go on to the next stage now. You've heard talk about, you know, supporters being allowed into football games, potential for concerts to return to the ACC Liverpool, pantomimes to go on. You know, I think the next step is this idea of rewarding people for going and getting tested. You know, so I made a sort of funny joke about it the other day, saying it's a bit like going for a coffee and you get a loyalty card, and if you get 5 negative stamps on it, you get a ticket to the matches. You know, but you can see where I'm going with it.
Yeah,
that's the sort of thing I think people need to feel, that there is a reward for doing all this stuff. Nobody wants to go and get swabbed and it is a bit inconvenient and it's a bit unpleasant. But I tell you what, it's a lot better than seeing vulnerable people go into hospital and die, isn't it? You know,
Yeah.
that's the reality of it.
For me, Paul, I don't see it as an inconvenience. I'm not just saying this. I actually don't think there's anything to it. I don't know if it's
No,
because I've been in Aussie a few times over the years myself, but it's
yeah,
such a simple procedure, isn't it?
it is, and let's be honest, they've made it so accessible and so straightforward. And I know now that retail is reopening, they're talking about putting test centres in the city centre in Liverpool One, in Castle Street, Bold Street, so that you can go and do your shop and you're literally there. You walk, you don't need an appointment. You pop in, you do the lateral flow test, you get your result within half an hour, and you carry on doing your shop. You know, they couldn't make it simpler, could they, with doing that? So I think it's a brilliant thing, and as long as we continue to embrace it, I think we'll continue to get the benefit and you know, get the favour. Let's be honest, we need the favour of central government, because we've also got a recovery plan waiting on their desks to get some investment into Liverpool in the new year.
Yeah,
And why, we should be at the front of the queue for that. You know, we've done the hard yards, haven't we?
yeah.
You know, that's the way I see it.
No, absolutely. What's the mood like today, Paul, and what's it been like the past few days within the hospitality industry in the city? How's everyone feeling?
Yeah, yeah. It's, as you can imagine, it's been very, very tense, and we're all sort of second guessing and making plans for any eventuality, because the problem with these things is we've now only got a week or just under a week, haven't we, to get all the produce in, get the staff back, get the place fired up, and get the momentum moving again. So it's been a weird combination of excitement about the potential of Tier 2 and having Christmas, and also potential worry about if it was Tier 3 and we're all doing takeaway for the rest of December or something like that. That was, even though we've enjoyed doing that, you know, we'll also be glad to see people back in restaurants, back in the shops, you know, people with smiles on their faces going around Liverpool as a city again. And, you know, what could be better than seeing that for December? I think today it's a massive relief. That's what it is. It's a big weight off the shoulders. And we've just got to make sure we take it, as you know, take it wisely, but also make sure we get the advantage that we deserve.
A lot of people will be booking restaurants today. In fact, I know for a fact that they are. I'm getting text to me, which I always do. Where should we book for Christmas now? Where should we do this? What should we do? I want you to give me your tips. I know we've got the Art School, which is an incredible place. Obviously,
Yeah.
booking is open now. Great Christmas menu on there. Where else would you say to people right now? And this is a tough question for you, and I know you're probably secretly thinking, "Shut up, Jay." Where would you say to people that they should check out in our great city?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, everybody's going to go, oh, well, you didn't mention me, you bugger. What have I done? You know, I'm going to lose some friends here, aren't I? But no, genuinely, my advice is always look for a place that is independently run, that buys fresh, local, seasonal ingredients, does something imaginative with it, has great service, and is the character of the city that you're in. You know, and that I live by that wherever I go around the world. I always look for those places, and you won't go far wrong. I think the ones that always spring to mind for me are places like Murray, Lunya, Bacaro. Obviously now Ellis has just opened Liverpool. I know Panoramic's got a new chef doing really well, Elliot there. So there's loads going, and everybody's going to shout at me now for not mentioning them. But, you know, just all I would say is go out, support your independence. No offense to the chains, you know, we need you. But right now it's about the identity of this city and using local people, local produce, and doing it in a lovely way, you know, and let's really celebrate what the Liverpool City region is all about.
You say there about that list, and it's difficult. We have that problem 24/7, Paul. Welcome to our world in terms of there's just so many. That is the problem. There's so many fantastic places now in Liverpool, and you can never get to them all, can you?
You can't, no. And I think, you know, this is why hospitality has become such a major driver in the city. You know, when the city council realised that 50% of the business rate payers in the city were all hospitality and visitor economy, I think the big penny dropped. And I think moving forward, believe it or not, that's going to put us in a really good position in terms of how the city's run in the future. But the fact is that, you know, the food and drink scene in the city is so fast moving, so buoyant. The quality is improving all the time. The creativity in this city for things like that is just off the scale. And I think, you know, we've got a very bright future as long as we can get through this difficult period now.